Shocking result. Everton fans are happy. Shocking. Players, hold your heads down. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely rubbish.
Hello guys, welcome back to Two Halves, Two Innings Football Podcast. This is Rohit, an Arsenal fan. A little bit smiley, but I'm not happy tonight because my friend, my mate Amit is not happy tonight. His favorite, his beloved Manchester United could not score a single goal against 10 men for 77 minutes plus 4 minutes of extra time. Amit, how are you feeling now?
It's after 9 o'clock, so I can swear, yeah.
Oh, I don't know what time we can say, but you are happy. It's up to you. Tell us how you feeling.
Honestly, Rohit, I mean, it's Ajay's fault. It's all Ajay's fault. He went to the game, and he's not
You
lucky.
should have stayed at home.
I said to him, "Come home," when Everton scored. I mean, let's be honest. First of all, no credit to Everton. I thought they started the game really well. The sending off, I thought that was really soft. Gray slaps his own player, Michael Keane.
Yeah.
I mean, I was puzzled at what he did. I thought he headbutted him or something, and Sky was zooming in all angles, and they finally saw something. He kind of poked him in the face or something like that, or a very light tap. I mean, come on, that's the kind of tap you would give to a friend, and it was ridiculous.
It was
ridiculous. I wasn't complaining at the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't complaining at the time because after that, United seemed to have kind of had a bit of a momentum. They didn't last very long, and Everton were, back in the game after 30 minutes. And what a cracking goal!
Amazing
I think the defending was awful, but at the end, he had a lot of work to do still. To get that in the top corner. Keeper Lemens could have been possibly questioned. Maybe if his hand was stronger, he would have been able to push it away. But again, full credit to the goal scorer. What a beautiful goal. But United absolutely shocking. I mean, I cannot take any positives out of that game, honestly, Rohit. So, as you said, 77 minutes of play with 10 men. Amorim is still adamant on sticking with his 3-4-3 or 3-4-3-ish formation.
3-4-3,
yeah. There was one Everton attacker facing 3 Manchester United defenders. Lenny Yoro played most of the game as a kind of like a floating midfielder, which is fine, but he's not known for his passing ability or his crossing ability. So why not replace him with Mason Mount earlier? And Ajay has alluded to United start the first half normally very well, awful. He's alluded to Amorim's poor substitutions. Well, I mean, his substitutions were okay, but they didn't actually do anything. The Old Trafford faithful have been crying out for Kobe Mainoo.
That's what football does to a Man United fan. That's what football.
Kobe Mainoo, Roy, honestly, Kobe Mainoo, I think he did one meaningful thing in the game. Okay, he looked like he didn't give a shit. He literally was walking around, floating around.
No, that's all right. I mean, he just gets his first game. He hasn't played for a while. But anyway, forget.
Come on, you can't make that excuse.
Forget Mainoo. Forget Mainoo. This is why you were like non-stop, start from finish. You were just telling how bad Man United were. We watched the game.
What a waste
you guys
of 2
were
hours.
Awful. You guys were awful.
I could have done some proper work.
Exactly. You should have spent your Monday evening doing something else. I mean, come on.
I should have.
Yeah, it was just awful, mate. From an Arsenal fan, from a neutral, the game, Everton was superb from start to finish.
Yes.
Except that one moment. I agree with you. It shouldn't be a red card. That was just a normal slap, or teammates like saying, he shouldn't be a red card. I don't believe that.
Punch,
yeah,
headbutt,
I don't think it was a punch.
That?
Yeah.
No,
if it was a punch,
yeah. But what I don't understand isn't VAR supposed to intervene if the red cards?
No, they said not for the red cards. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I don't. See, I don't understand VAR, how that VAR works here in England. I've totally lost it. Even yesterday when Arsenal were saying, they're saying 3 players were in front of the vision of the goalkeeper. Sometimes they give the offside, sometimes they don't give offside. So I have no clue what the rules are. I don't have no clue how VAR works. But coming back to tonight's game, Amit, I mean, I don't want to ask you what went right because nothing went right for Manchester United. But
The thing,
I know what went wrong. What was the key moment that you think was wrong?
Rohit, there was too much done, but everything from the whole game was wrong. Rohit, there's not even a key moment. They were lethargic from the start. They had the opposition team got reduced to 10 men. There's a little bit of burst of energy. Second half was better. They had 20 plus shots on target. I'm sorry, on goal, but only 5 were on target. Zerki, was unlucky. There's a
He
couple
should
of
have scored.
balls.
He should have scored.
One
Yeah.
there was one world class save from Jordan Pickford
Yeah.
and a couple okay saves.
Yeah.
But they were toothless. There was no urgency in the United play. There was no. You're playing 10 men. Spread the game. Old Trafford is a massive pitch. Use the width. But what were they doing? The only positive I'll say actually in that game was the crossing was a little bit better in that game. But there was no one. They weren't filling the box in with players. Mbemo, he looked the most threatening for Manchester United, but they left him out on the kind of the right side.
I think he was
They
very
wanted
poor
to
today.
put him in the
He
middle.
was very poor today.
But, everyone was poor with it, but I think he was probably the best out of the bad bunch. Why didn't they put him in the middle? He's the only one that was showing to do anything. Honestly, there's nothing positive all about that performance. Amorim, again, I know we're going to stick with him. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon after one bad result that Amorim out. But again, this is where a manager earns his money. You're at home, you're playing a team who's in the bottom half of the table. You've got an opportunity to get into the top 4. That's twice now we spent 2 opportunities. We spent an opportunity against Tottenham, and now we've done it again. I mean, how many opportunities do they want? Do they actually want top 4? I don't know. Because without top 4, they're not going to get the money that they want to be able to invest in the players that they need to invest for next season.
Yeah, but I think I could not see when we see a team and say how they play, I just did not understand how they were playing. What was their strategy? There was no style. They were just hoofing the ball. They were just trying to pass to someone. Then they were losing the balls as well to Everton. I mean, I have to give credit to Everton. As soon as they went to 10 men, I think they played brilliantly. They controlled the ball right at the end as well. I think the way they did transitions, the way they actually moved the ball in channels, I think they were brilliant. And hats off to Dewsbury-Hall. Amazing performance from him. He was player of the match for me. Who was player of the match from you? I mean, not United. I was supposed there'll be no one, but from Everton side, who do you think was it? The keeper?
I mean, if I'm honest,
Yeah.
I think everyone. But I mean, I'll probably give it to Pickford because when he was called upon, with
it
that
was a
one
world-class save. Yeah,
it
was
was a
amazing.
world class save. There's no, and
no doubt about it.
he and obviously again as a keeper, he was kind of really cajoling his defenders as well to stay in position. So I think again, I've always felt he's an okay keeper. I've always felt that we could have a better keeper as England number 1, but he was good tonight. And as I said, it's very difficult to call out one Everton player because I think as a team they are brilliant. Everton now are jointly the most dirtiest team in the Premier League history, along with Arsenal. So I've got to get one.
You have to drag Arsenal into it, isn't it? Yeah. Wait. Forget that.
It's the first time Manchester United have lost at home when they've been facing a team with 10 men.
Wow.
And it's the first time that David Moyes has beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Yes. There you go.
So
there's always first time. I think.
Night.
Yeah.
There's no excuses. People say, people will say, international break. Well, they've had the longest recovery compared to everyone else because they're playing on a Monday night.
They play on Monday night.
I know obviously last week there was no midweek game, but again, there's no midweek games normally. So what they're doing. It's honestly, I'm just really, really pissed off.
Yeah.
Because it's just a complete waste of time, and there's no changing of the tactics from the manager. Just change the players and expect the same thing again.
Yeah, exactly.
Einstein said that's a sign of stupidity. Do the same thing again and again, expecting different results.
Same result. So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, they got lucky. Maybe were they lucky in the past 3 games? I mean, you've said it along. Actually, your start for the podcast that you did with all the preview with Ajay was that you said United haven't dominated games for 90 minutes. No, I don't think there's many games that a team dominate for 90 minutes, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I was trying
And,
to say
you
like
know,
most of the
yeah,
minutes. Yeah,
they haven't dominated. I
They
mean,
haven't
yes, they had
dominated.
loads of possession today, but you know, you'd expect that against 10 men. But
Against
what
10
did they
men.
do with the
Exactly.
possession? As I said,
Yeah.
there was no
Yeah.
urgency in the play. There was not, you know, spreading the play out, you know, stretching the, you know, the Everton team. Nothing. You know, they had a few crosses in the box, which is the most they've crossed I've seen this season, but they were toothless, absolutely toothless. You know,
Proper.
you know, this toffees, you know, made us get stuck.
Player ratings, Amit. I wanna hear from you regarding player ratings. Before I'm gonna do player ratings, I'm gonna ask you Amorim. What do you give Amorim tonight?
Today,
Out of 10. Out of 10. 0? 1?
one,
1. What
because
about
his trainers were nice and white.
what about Bruno, your captain? I didn't see
Awful.
him today.
Awful.
He
What's
had
doing?
one shot, but he was quite a little
Yeah,
bit
two
higher.
shots.
But
Two shots.
yeah.
First half, second half, one
Yeah.
shot in each. But what else? His passing was poor. His crossing wasn't on point. Casemiro, who's had a little bit of resurgence, was poor. Honestly, I can't. They'll all get a 2 or a 3, apart from maybe Mbemba. I'll give him a 4. But you know, they should all be embarrassed of themselves. You know, I feel sorry for Ajay. You know, he's not travelled that far, but you know, he's come from Wakefield to go see them. You know, he's gonna probably get home at midnight. You know, and what a shambles! Absolute shambles.
Yeah. Proper shambles, mate. Proper shambles.
And the funniest thing was what I found funny was that when the assistant referee put 4 minutes up, you know, they had a clip towards the crowd, and people go, what, 4
Why?
minutes? 4
Why?
minutes? Why not 4 minutes?
But
I'm not
nothing
being
happened.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. Right? They're absolutely dog shit for bloody
Yeah.
90 minutes. What the hell are
Nothing
they going to do in
happened.
4 minutes? You know, all of a sudden, because the ball goes up, they got the urgency. That urgency should have been there
Yeah.
the minute they went down to 1-0, went down 1-0. Nothing.
But then they shouldn't even
Honestly.
gone down to 1-0. The defending was so poor. Very poor defending.
It
They
was a
didn't even
good goal,
tackle
though.
Dewsbury-Hall.
Yeah.
They let him go. Let him take the shot. Let him go, you know, go towards the box and take the shot. I mean, very poor defending. But did you miss Maguire tonight? And Sesko? And Cunha?
I mean, Sesko, I mean, he hasn't done much for United. You know, he's had a very difficult start. So again, I suppose with his height, there would have been an advantage
Could have
in
taken
terms
a
of
shot.
heading.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, although Zerki had a couple of headers, to be fair,
Yeah.
but you know, you think that they were crossing the board today, so you think that would have been the difference. But again, the way he's played so far, you can't really say that. Cunha, you know, he's been pretty decent. But I think he missed out because he had a head injury following international duty. But you know, again, Rohit, you know, you can't keep talking about the players that you lost. You know, you've got to look at the players that you've got. You know, this is Manchester United. You know, one of the most, if not the most followed football club in the world. You know, in you know, and the history and the expectations of wearing that shirt. There should be pride. There was no pride in what the players were doing today. No urgency. It was shambolic, absolutely shambolic. You know, and you compare that to Everton. Okay, you know, they played as a team. That's the difference.
Yeah, definitely
You
they
know,
played as a team.
Manchester
Definitely.
United, you know, they were playing as individuals. There was no team effort, as you said. There was no obvious strategy. There's no obvious, you know, what's their style. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Honestly,
Absolutely.
Amorim, you know, obviously we don't know what Amorim's going to say in the press conference or in the post-match interviews because we jumped straight on. You know, you asked me if I was ready, and I said, give me a couple of minutes, and that's all I needed to do to prepare for this because there wasn't much to talk about.
There wasn't much to talk about.
Although United were shit.
Okay, guys, that was our short review of Manchester United's defeat against Everton. How do you lose to 10 men? Ask Man United players.